to Summer 2021 Garden Planning. This is May 29th, Saturday at about 12:30. It's currently 68 degrees. Tonight's low is going to be 51, and as you can see here, it may be a little early because Al's Pine and Nursery said to plant these when overnight temperatures are higher than 50 degrees. So as you can see here, it's just at the mark. So we're going to try it today. So to start off with, we got these beautiful plants. This is a giant Thai pepper from Al's Pine and Nursery. Again, that's in Wheat Ridge, Al's Pine and Nursery in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. And this is the first time we've tried the giant Thai. We've tried the normal sized Thai peppers, and they're really good, very flavorful, got a lot of kick, but without all the heat. So we're anxious to try that. And then over here is our Roma, and he's looking good. He's gonna go be planted today. Got a Roma, got a Brit that we haven't tried yet. So here's our Brit. And then here's our Sun Gold. I think it's a medium size. Not too small, maybe bigger than a grape. And then of course Cherry 100. And then a Better Bush. And then we've got some little peppers. We've got a little Habernaro. Hopefully he pulls out, that we got from Al's Pine and Nursery. And then a Sonora. That's kind of like an Anaheim. What is an Anaheim? Sorry. And then here is a Fresno. And then a Shepard. So each of these contain 6 plants. It looks like they're really ready to be planted. These Sonoras are looking a little, not as strong as the others, so we're hoping they'll pop back. And then from our flowers, we're going to be planting. Now these are the seeds that we've had over the years, so we're just using up what we already have. So the zinnias are nice and fun. So we're going to try to plant some zinnias today. And then of course the sweet pea mix, and then the scarlet flaming zinnia. And then maybe throw some dill somewhere. We already have some. And then here's some marigolds. Got a bunch of those seeds. And then here's some sunflowers. Burpee and Fairy Moors. We've always had really good luck with them. And then some nasturtiums. We're going to see what we can make with those. And then a wildflower mix. And then a cantaloupe. We're going to try the cantaloupe. So these are all seeds that we've had on hand. So we're going to try them. They're a few years old, so we're going to give them a try. And it should be nice and fun after they start growing. So to start off with, we have our little piece of paper or notepad, so you know where you plant stuff. And then of course our shovel and some scissors. And then I always like to wear either some shades and then a hat. So today's nice and overcast. It's nice and cool. It may be a little early. They did say to start planting after June 1st. So it may be a little early, but we're going to try this anyways. Oh, this basil we got at the store. So we're hoping that he's going to pop back up and get some good growing in. So first we're going to see what we already did. So we took our cultivator here. This is a nice little machine. It's very light duty. It's not like a big huge rototiller. It's a little electric cultivator that I've used for probably maybe over 10 years now. And you just after every I always make sure and clean these tines really well, and then I put a light coating of oil WD-40 on those, and then store it for next year. So this is a great little machine. It's not a heavy rototiller, so it's for light work. I think that's about 6 to 8 inches deep. It's a nice little electric yard machine. Again, this is probably 10 years old. I don't know an exact date on it, but I try to keep it obviously in the garage when not in use. And then it's got adjustments in the back there. You just pull those pins out and then adjust it. It's a nice little machine. It does well. Now let's see what we've already done. So last week I worked on this plot with a little cultivator. I would say it's maybe 8 feet by 8 feet about. I've already worked up this soil a couple years ago, again with a little cultivator, but to do this area here was about 2 hours. So if you're just breaking ground, you can do it by hand by using a shovel, or you can rent a rototiller and break up the existing earth. That's going to be real back-breaking. So just kind of know what you're getting into. This I already worked this lot a couple years ago, so it's fairly easy to work with. And then I just kind of cleaned it up with the little cultivator, and as you can see, some of the weeds are popping back, and we're going to take care of those with the shovel. But this plot, about 8 feet by 8 feet, took about 2 hours with the cultivator. So just to know what you're getting into, that's kind of important. I did this a few weeks ago, and it's best if maybe you can prepare your plots maybe a month ahead of time, so you can get the preparations out of the way, because that's going to be kind of back-breaking work, and it's, you know, pretty tiring. So if you maybe get that done maybe a month ahead of time, and that way when you're ready to plant, again Memorial Day weekend for Denver, then you're all ready to go. So over here is these bags, these garden bags that we used last year. Probably won't use these again. Just not too crazy about them. They rot. Well, they don't rot. They're rot resistant. But if you've got a patio, these work well. But for here, as you can see here, I'm not a huge fan of these. So we probably won't use these again this year. Now here's the beds that we cleaned up from last year. And so what we got thrown on already is, looks like some cilantro. That came back from last year. We didn't plant that. And then we got some borage. And then more borage over here. And this is where some sunflowers were last year. And I believe one of these are maybe the zinnias that are coming back. So we're going to just leave that this year and see what we've got. This is one of our little plastic boxes. And the other one, nothing's popped back yet. So we're going to be planting stuff in this one. And then now these are concrete boxes. I would have done this differently, but we got some borage coming on there. Borage. So yeah, that stuff's really kind of aggressive there. And then we've got, this came back from last year. This is Russian sage. That came back from last year. We didn't plant that. And then I forget what this guy is. Ragwood, I think. That came back from last year. And then we got our cute little strawberries. Those came back from last year. And more little strawberries. Got some cute little blooms. And then this beast. This came back from last year. We think it's a cucumber. We didn't plant him. And this is May, and look how aggressively he's so we're not really sure if it's one of those, if it's a cucumber, if it's a squash. It's probably one of the gourd families or a cucumber. In the past, when they've come back on their own, they're usually really bitter. The fruit is really bitter. But this is about maybe 2.5 feet high already. So this he came back on his own. So we're going to see how he does, and then of course more borage. Borage there and there. So let's go to the next box. So the next box is herbs. And so we've got our good old cilantro that came back from last year. And I believe this is lavender, maybe? And came back from next year. I don't know if we still have the tag here. Yeah, it's real fragrant. And then this one came back from last year. And then unfortunately, our lavenders didn't come back. So this is all from last year. And here's cute little cilantro, or parsley maybe. So this is one of the beds that, of course, we cleaned it up, did some yard cleanup. And then of course over here, coming over here, this is all mint. And this is little dill here, real cute little dill. This came back from last year. And of course this mint. It is so established, this mint. And this of course came back from last year. And if you ever have mint in your yard, very invasive. Once it gets established, it is there for years and years and years. So we're going to probably trim that down. And unfortunately our sage here, I don't know, he was always a strong runner. You know, bloomed through the winter time, very strong, and then he just didn't come back. So not sure if he ran out of space. And then we're going to go to this next box. And this next box, you can probably guess what this is, because we have this my little helper here, and you can maybe guess what this is. And this is a huge bush, maybe 2 feet high, and maybe 3 feet around. And I don't know if you can guess what this is. First guess, it is not pot. It is not marijuana. It is catnip. And it's huge. So it's, again, very invasive. And we planted a little thing of it, and as you can see, it's really established and going crazy. So, not sure what we're going to do with this, but because our one little kitty cat, he likes it, but that's a lot for him to have his supply. His neighborhood friend, his little neighborhood little kitty comes, and she makes the rounds, and she sits right next to it here and gets her morning hit. But yeah, that's catnip. Catnip. So as you can see here, so catnip. Yeah, this came back from last year. We didn't plant it. And then over here is catmint. Catmint. And this came back from last year. And this is a good little bush. Nice and established. And this came back from last year. He's just very invasive, so we're going to train him to be, kind of contained. But it's a nice, I think it's native. I'm not really sure. So that's what we already got going on. And then nice tour of what we have that we're starting with. This is from last year. And of course you need your helper. My other helper is not around. So I have this little helper here. He's obviously a good little helper. And he's guarding his catnip. Want to say hi to the folks there? He's busy checking something out. So he's not too far from his catnip and mint. So we're going to get started on this plot over here. Like I said, I've already kind of worked this in a few weeks ago. As you can see, some of the weeds have popped up, and I'm going to level this out here. So this is what we had to start with from last year, and then we're going to come over to these little trees. So this is one of the grapes that we planted last year. So we've got, these were sticks. So we planted him and he's doing really well. And these are grapes from last year. These were already established, so we just need to clean those up. But they were already established, so it's growing really well. He's growing really well there. And then this, I believe, is one of the trees, one of the cherry trees. And so it's nice and got a good start on it. I'd say he's maybe 3 feet high. So that's nice and promising. We got that from a stick. If you want fruit trees, I would recommend going to like a nursery or a reputable home store, or say your local nursery, and get a tree. They're like 70 bucks or maybe 100 bucks, but they're already established, and if you take really good care of it, it'll do well. He's doing okay, and then this was grapes that's already established. This was grapes. So he's doing well. He popped back. This is one of the fruit trees. So this is one of the fruit trees. So we've got fruit that's real promising. And this one's real promising here. Forget what we planted there. I do want to mention, in addition to the garden tools, my trusty garden knife. Got this on Amazon, and it's a Japanese garden knife. Really love it. At the end of the year, obviously, I clean it all up and then lightly oil it for the next season. Yeah, I really like this. Of course, I drop it. And then garden gloves. These are rubber gloves, but more dexterous than leather gloves. So I use these a lot as well. So here's some soil that we had over from last year. This Pro Mushroom Compost Blend is my favorite. I got this at Lowell's. This is my favorite to use. During the pandemic, all they had was this Miracle-Gro, which I'm not a fan of. But that's all they had because they were out. They later got this mushroom compost and I stocked up. So this is from last year, this mushroom compost. And this is my favorite. This is what I like to use. So here's our little lot. Put some little bricks around it just to kind of even it off and try to separate it. And then of course this is where we're going to plant. Now this is actually west facing. So because of this fence, I'm going to come back, I don't know, about 10 feet so it can get most amount of afternoon light. So so from fence to the back, about 10 feet maybe. But I've watched the sunset, and the sun, actually the shadow is actually right at the sidewalk here. So we're going to be a little in from that. And then on the other side, because for the east facing sun, these boxes that are close to the house, although they're convenient, early morning sun, they don't get a lot of sun because of the house shades it. So around 6-7 a.m. is when this lot starts lighting up. And then due to the sun, morning sun, this is the farthest out. And if you are planting your garden, backyard, front yard, determine how much sun it gets. So watch it throughout the day. Obviously watch it in the morning, early morning, because you want to maximize as much early morning sun as possible. And then of course in the afternoon you want to maximize, because we're planting tomatoes and peppers and they require a lot of sunlight. So we're going to try this out here. Before we had everything in these little garden boxes, and even though they worked, I think they didn't have enough room to grow, and they didn't have enough morning sun. So they worked, but they were crowded. So we're going to give them that whole plot over there. So this is kind of our layout, and of course your layout's going to be different. But just have fun, involve family, friends, loved ones to help you out, kids. And so we're going to plant those guys, and let's get to it. So here's our little drip lines. This is our little sprinkler system. And it's got good coverage here. It's the basil. There's more peppers that we planted. And more peppers. And see the little sprinklers. Good over here. We planted some seeds here. Sprinkler. Not sure what we're going to do about the cat nip bush, but these are getting good coverage and water. Over here, some more peppers that we planted. Really like these little sprinklers. They're easy to hook up. So much, a lot of fun. Okay, and then here's going to be our next zone. Not sure what's going on there. Okay, here's a little zone here. 2. And we just planted a mix of various flowers in this box. Some more borage, so he's going to get watered. There, and then we planted some flowers in this area here. I'm gonna have to put this down a little bit. Let's go a little high. There we go. Come back over here. Not sure what we planted there. They're real cute little sprinklers. Need to keep an eye on them every few weeks to make sure they're working okay. Make sure they've got good coverage. These little drippers. Yeah, this is doing really well though. Really well. So here's our new little plot. Now we got this guy's cranked up, and as you can see, the other one here, not enough pressure. He's taking all the pressure. So we're going to switch out that with these little streamers. These are little streamers, and we're going to switch those bubblers out for these streamers, because as you can see, they're taking up all the pressure. But yeah, this is our new little lot, and we're just going to change out those bubblers for these little streamers. Here's our new little lot. Well, not the most high-tech. Okay, these little sprinklers, not enough coverage and not enough pressure. So I put some little drip line or little pressure compensated drippers, as you can see there. And then I made a river. Again, not the most high-tech. But it's going to work because these need a lot of water. Again, not the most high-tech, but those are not going to give enough water for these guys. So these guys are drowning, but they need a ton of water. Again, not the most elegant solution. As you can see here, there's quite a flood here. Because these guys weren't getting enough water. So, not the most elegant. And I'm not very proud of it. But, irrigation system. Old school. So, this just connects, and then on the edges we have flowers, pumpkins. Probably not going to be, and then I can adjust these because the other irrigation is taken care of, so I can move those in. Not the most elegant, but it works.